the full-size cars. Here's Stranglehold, a team that got into the tournament through a hard-hitting wild card round 2 years ago. But as Jan just told you, they're already out of action for the night.
Okay, here's a real crowd pleaser. They are the Orange Crush, and their specialty is head-on collisions. They went down in flames earlier tonight, though.
Now these guys are the defending national champions, the Locomotives. Black cars with black hearts. Watch out for them in the semi-rounds tonight. These guys are true masters of disaster.
The final entry is Damage Inc. These guys are really tough. They're human battering rams and are still in the savage wars tonight.
Tonight's wildcard team was the Tijuana Taxis, the Mexican-American team. Their chances of making it into the big show were lost in the wildcard round. There are demons in the minds of these drivers, and they're loaded with road rage. They're gonna mash on the gas tonight with no fear, trying to smash your way to a $100,000 payoff and the national championship.
And that's what it's all about, the dineros, the big bucks, the $100,000 payoff and the national championship. Now, as you watch, these cars may look like an old junker, but just keep in mind, more than 60 hours goes into the preparation of each one of these machines to make them howl like a junkyard dog. Here's the Tournament of Destruction Director of Competition, Wally Hartung, to tell us all about it and how hard it really is. Wally?
Dan, ButterBean, the best thing about being retired from this sport is I don't have to work on these cars anymore. It takes 60 hours to get one of these cars ready for competition, and the first thing we have to do is remove all the glass because nobody likes broken glass flying around inside the car. And after that, we punch and drain the gas tank and put an auxiliary gas tank in to power the engine. Now let's take a look underneath the hood. Now the first thing you might notice is there's no radiator. Why? Horsepower. And horsepower means speed. And that's what it's all about. The engine only has to drive the rear wheels. After that, heavy chains to bolt the motor down so it doesn't move around inside the chassis. The last thing you might notice is some missing parts. The springs and shocks are removed to tighten up the whole front end and to raise it as high as it can be, because the higher the frame, the harder the hit.
With as much preparation that goes into these cars, you would think they're pretty safe. But understand, racing team-style demolition is a very dangerous thing.
And think about this, Dan. Each team needs a total of 12 cars ready to go. If they expect to win all 3 rounds, hey, that's a lot of wrench jockeying.
I'm talking about wrenches. Now it's time for the wreckage to start piling up again as we watch one of the semifinal rounds of the Tournament of Destruction. The winner of this one rocks on to the finals. Now, once again, here's Jan Gabriel in the Carnival of Carnage. Jan.
What you're hearing is the Route 66 stomp. It's the fans in these aluminum grandstands, and they are anxious to find out who's going to win this semi-round and move on to the critical finals coming up just a little bit later on. So let's take a look at our 2 teams right now that are going to have at it. Starting on the inside are the hot yellow cars of Damage Inc. with owner-driver Dave Swan. Also, Repeat Millette Sr. and Jr. And rounding out the foursome is Robbie Stahulik. Now, they take on the powerful Locomotives with Dennis the Menace Ryan, Minor Dave, Phil Fireball Leonard, and the owner-driver Pete Ryan. Your chief starter is Cheryl Laporte. She's fair but firm with these guys and has given them the green flag. As they jam down into turn number 1 now, it's a mad scramble as the ominous all-black cars of the Locomotives start to ambush Damage Inc. This is the time to let them know who's got the killer instincts. Sorting themselves out, they head down the back straightaway with Pete Ryan in the lead in the 3.7s. His teammate Minor Dave running second in the 77. Damage Inc. now still bogged down. They're fighting back. They have one car attacking through the infield in a head-to-head shoving match that's going to be self-destructive. Here's Dennis the Menace Ryan trying to fire up his car, and now Pete Ryan is stalking the car up in turn 4. Watch him now. He's about to deliver some heavy pain. Ooh, I can feel that all the way up here, and no doubt the crowd did too. Swan now, he's smashed, he's trashed, but he's able to move away slowly, very slowly, because down on the inside now, the new leader is on the move. It's Minor Dave in the 77, and he's about to collect another lap and has just a couple more to go to win this semi-round. Dave looks good, he looks comfortable, and is unchallenged as he runs through the turns and heads down the backside of the racetrack. But now he's in trouble as a car heads right for him. Ooh, there's a big mistake. Repeat Millette in that big yellow machine should have never let Minor Dave go by. why. Here's more action now as we ride along in one of our in-car cameras. Ooh, I can feel the pain. The standing room only crowd of some 12,000 felt it as well, and they're loving it. Well, right now it's two drivers up against the wall. A nasty collision. Both are out and okay. In the meantime, Minor Dave, your leader, bangs his way through traffic and continues on his way. But don't be fooled. There are damaging cars everywhere, still running and looking to punish this guy. Here's Robbie Stahulik now, just cruising around, looking to put a huge hit on the leader. But he'd better hurry. Minor Dave, driving for the Locomotives, has just reached the point where he has a half a lap to go to the checkered flag. He has one hostile car in front of him. Can he get by? Yes, he does. He goes to the high side of the racetrack. Millette Jr. backs into the leader, but can't get enough of him to do any damage or stop him. Minor Dave still has a blocker helping him out now as he powers his way to the checkered flag. And the Locomotives are going into tonight's Smash 'em Up final round. Well, that semi will bring together the two toughest, roughest teams in Team Demolition Derby. It'll be the Locomotives and the Mean Green Machine in the finals here tonight. Should be exciting, I promise you that. But right now, let's meet our favorite pit chick, Miss Kitty Rush. She's with the winner of that semi round. Kitty?
Thanks, Jan. Well, as you can see behind me, these guys are slamming and jamming in the pit tonight. They've got cars all over the place. They're putting stuff in, they're taking stuff out, they're changing tires, they're changing batteries. Each car has 2 batteries that need to be put in to give these puppies some extra charge. And let me tell you, I'm getting charged up just watching the 2 best teams getting ready for the big final. Now with me here, I have Minor Dave, who was the big winner of the semifinal. Dave, get your butt on over here. Now Dave, how good or bad is that nasty old mud track looking tonight?
Well, it's pretty tricky, you know. You have to know what's in front of you and left of you and right of you and the back. You got to kind of have eyes in the back of your head, you know, like your panoramic view, you know. You just can't send anybody out there, so.
Well, that's for sure. Tell the folks at home, Dave, now what big iron are you bringing out for tonight's final round?
Probably a couple of Fords, a couple of big Chryslers, you know, something that'll really pack a punch for the last round.
All right, well, you're looking all hot and sweaty and raring to go. Exactly the way I like my men. So good luck tonight, Dave. Jan, back to you.
Well, there you have it. The 2 toughest teams in Demolition Derby will grind it out, bumper to bumper, in the final round here tonight. It'll be the Mean Green Machine and the defending national champions, the Locomotives. You won't want to miss it. Dan, ButterBean, what you have just seen is the real Car Wars.
Now that was a pure dogfight. There ain't nothing like this. These guys are hell-bent on destruction. Dan, I kind of know how they feel. I'm known as a big-time puncher, and I know the harder you hit, the bigger the payoff. And that's exactly what these guys are thinking right now.
And I think you're right. And that's what we've been saying all along, that this is the hardest hitting sport in the whole world. Now, as you can see for yourself, they really tear up these cars. And to answer the question, just how dangerous is it? Well, let's ask veteran driver Sneaky Pete Ryan. Sneaks?